Hi guys! Welcome back again to my channel. It's me, Carol Anderson. So today's video, pag-uusapan natin yung pagkakaiba ng pagiging medtech sa Pilipinas kaysa dito sa Amerika. Marami kasing mga nagtatanong about ko sa trabaho ko, and hindi naman ako pwedeng mag-video doon. And so, I would just describe my work as a medtech here in America, and I will also compare it on my previous job as a medtech in the Philippines. So, let's begin! So first, pag-uusapan muna natin yung job application. Nung nandun ako sa Pilipinas, I personally go to the hospital where I wanted to work and pass my resume in there. While over here sa Amerika, I went to the website. I searched for job, like medtech job hiring, and then I went directly to their website and passed my application in there. And then after 2 to 3 weeks, sa Pilipinas, kinontak nila ako, tinawagan, and they told me to come to the hospital and they will talk about like some kind of a short orientation. And then while over here, after 2 to 3 weeks, they email me back, and then they said that like kabilang pa ako sa mga applicant na qualified, parang ganon. Tapos that I will have a coming phone interview. And so after that, they called me on the phone, and there is like a short interview there. And after on the short interview, they told me to go on personally for a real job interview. In the Philippines, I don't have a job interview. They just give me directly the job offer, and they told me when to start and like a short kind of orientation. Over here, as soon as I start when I pass my job interview and they offer me the job, and then I have two days orientation. So first orientation is like in general, they talk about the policy and then the hospital, and then because the hospital where I worked, it has tons of like branches and different location all over here in Utah State. And so my orientation was not only me, like other newly hired employees were also there. So marami kami. And then that was Monday, and then on the second day I have another orientation in the location where I have to work. So 2 days yon, and then I am already with pay during my orientation. And then Wednesday I started my training. So about the training, nung nandun ako sa Pilipinas, I only have, I think I can remember, minimum of 3 days yung training ko doon, or maybe maximum of 5 days, but I can only remember 3 days, and then the next 4 days, like I already start working, like they already throw me in there and in the bench and work. And then while over here, my training took 4 months, kasi yung pinag-a-applyan ko, it's a generalist, and so I have to cover like chemistry department, hematology, and transfusion department. And the difference also is during my training in the Philippines, we don't have a checklist or procedures or SOP na sinusunod. Meron kaming SOP doon, but pero hindi namin siya binabasa during my training. And walang checklist. Yung routine work lang na they just showed you in your routine work, and like, oh, this is how you do it and all. And it's fast. While over here, I started on my chemistry training first. I have, I think, 4 weeks on chemistry, and meron kaming checklist procedures, at saka they always want me to read SOP every day, like during the training. And then after chemistry ko, nag-training ako ng hematology and then transfusion. So it took like everything, like 4 months of training. And then after that, so punta naman tayo sa so meron kaming 34 competency assessments. That already includes the chemistry, hematology, and transfusion department. And so on my first year, ang competency ko, they will do it twice. So after I was done with my training fully and I started to work, after a few months, they're gonna start it all over again because it is the policy na twice siyang gawin yung competency assessment. And after a year, once a year na lang siya ginagawa. So, so that is different in the Philippines kasi wala kaming competency na ginagawa. Like once you start to work, you're just like keep working and working. You will just learn just by working, and that's it. While over here, like there's always a competency. Kahit ilang years ka pang nagtatrabaho, kailangan mong gawin yung competency once a year. And then after that, sa SOP naman, meron kasi kaming website, like at work we will log into the computer and we have each of us have our own account in that website. There is a one person that na mag-a-assign ng mga SOP time to time para sa amin, at saka meron siyang due date na kailangan namin siyang i-sign off. Kailangan namin siyang basahin, and other SOPs have quizzes like that. So we constantly read the SOP. It's like part siya ng aming trabaho na kailangan siyang basahin, kailangan siyang i-familiarize more kasi ang daming procedures, kasi ang daming mga laboratory tests that I experience here na hindi ko siya na-experience sa Pinas, na hindi siya available sa Pinas. So time to time, like every time we go to work, we always check our emails, we always check our SOPs, ganon. And aside sa SOP, meron ding another learning na tinatawag naming my learning na binabasa din namin. This is different from, this one is a general learning from all employees, including nurses, medtechs, phlebotomists, in all of us. Like this is more on like how to respond if there is a fire, how to respond if there's an abduction in the hospital, if there is disruptive behaviors among your coworkers, if there is like hazardous chemicals. So that's like separate from our SOP. And then yearly meron kaming salary increase. And aside from the competency, there is also like time to time, like the CAP or College of American Pathologists, we're sending to the hospital like a blind samples, and we will submit our results, right? It's also the same thing in the Philippines, that there is from the reference lab kind of thing, that they're gonna send a blind sample to the hospital and you're gonna perform it. It's like competency that you will submit it to the reference lab, kind of like that. So same thing over here, like the College of American Pathologists, the CAP will send us a blind samples, and then our team leader will rotate to all of us at the lab, and we'll do the samples, we'll test the samples. Either it is through the machines or through manual, or like identification of the cells, or if you do the antibody identification, like that, in different areas, like either it's hematology, chemistry, or transfusion. And then, so aside from that, the difference also is for the scheduling. So when I work in the Philippines, our schedule there is rotation. So we all experience to work morning, swing, or night in there. So all of us. While over here, our schedule is fixed. So like me, I applied to work a 7 on 7 off graveyard. So from the day that I start working until now that I'm all like over 2 years, I am still working graveyard. So that's my fixed schedule. Like I am always graveyard. And then while other my other coworkers also, like they they work morning. Like there is a different medtechs works in the morning. They are morning medtechs. There are also medtechs that only works in the afternoon, and me, I only work during graveyard. But once in a while, if there is somebody that will go on vacation and there is an opening shift that day, so we can, like me, if I am on my day off, then it's up to me if I'm gonna cover, or if I want to work overtime or I want to work extra, then I can work a different shift. But my schedule, but on my regular schedule, I am always graveyard. Like that's my fixed schedule. So that's also a different, like the difference in there. And so when I work in the Philippines, um lahat lahat kami yung gumagawa, like all around kami doon. So kami yung processor, kami yung phlebotomist, kami yung medtech, kami na lahat. So and then if I work graveyard over there, I am only working alone. I have no phlebotomist or someone with me or a processor. And so I am alone. Over here, I'm a graveyard and I have a processor with me slash phlebotomist. So a processor is the one that like receive the sample and then spin the sample, receive the sample, like prepare the sample for us. So yun yung tawag sa mga processor. And tsaka yung sa phlebotomist naman, hindi kami yung gumagawa. Meron kaming phlebotomist that do the draws of the patients. But during graveyard, my processor is also a phlebotomist. So I also learned a little bit of how to receive samples, how to process them, so that I can receive samples, especially the stat samples from the ER, if my phlebotomist slash processor will go to the floor for the doing her time draws. So yun. And then another thing naman is yung how to release the results. So when I was in the Philippines, what we did is we ran the sample in the machine, and then we copy the sample, and then we encode it and print it and review it and sign it, and then release it to the station, or release it to the walk-in patients, or release it's all manual. While over here, it's fully automated, and we have an LIS that just our result will send it directly to the doctor, and they can review it in their computer system. So the history of the patient will always be there. Every time the patient will go to the hospital, like no matter how long, or like no matter kahit ilang years na siyang hindi pumunta sa hospital, pagbalik niya doon, meron pa rin yung ang kanyang history a long time ago, andun na siya. So it's easy to review the history of the patients kasi andun na siya sa system. And then we just log in our account in there, and then just send the results directly to the system. So that's so easy, and that's so fast. And the last one is, I could not think of another more. I will try to think of what's another difference. But this one is, like for the lab gowns, for the laboratory gowns. So in the Philippines, I don't know in other hospitals. So in the hospital where I worked is we bring our own lab gowns and it's colored white. Well, over here, like, it is provided in the hospital and it's color blue. So that's all I can remember for now. And maybe if you have another questions, um, like that you can think of about another things in the laboratory, you can put your comment down below and I will make another video and I will answer that questions. So that's it for now, guys. Thank you for watching this video, and please don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell button para ma-update kayo if I have another video coming, especially about this kind of topic. Alright, see ya guys. Thanks for watching. Bye!